Hello YouTube, Canadian Edge here. Today have another knife review for you, and today we are looking at the Rough Ryder Night Out. So this is a knife that I saw and I wasn't familiar with Rough Ryder. Saw it at Warriors and Wonders and thought, I'm gonna check this guy out. It was a $27 knife, and I thought, well, that's inexpensive. I want to see what they're offering for 27 bucks. And so far, I am pleasantly surprised. So this has a blade length of 3.25 inches. Open, it's 7.75 inches. And closed, it is 4.5 inches. The steel on this, it is a stainless steel. I couldn't find any information on what kind of steel it actually is. It just said stainless steel. So I'm assuming it's probably like a 440A or 440C. Probably one of your budget steels that they didn't bother mentioning what it actually is. And it has the drop point blade on it. It has a weight of 3.74 ounces, and the handle is aluminum with stainless steel liners, and they have milling on the liners. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they are milled, so that takes a little bit of the weight off. Now, one of the things that I'm disappointed with is that my camera is not showing the actual color of this knife. It looks blue in the camera, but it is actually a teal greenish color. And you've got the red pivot cap in there to accent it. And so I'm not sure why it's not showing up as teal, but yeah, it looks blue in the picture. But if you look them up on the internet, you can find the teal color just to see what it looks like. The pocket clip on here, it is a stainless steel black, and it says Rough Ryder on there. You can see that. Get my light out of there. It has Rough Ryder, and it is reversible. So you take the cap off and you can switch that out and make a reversible. So it is ambidextrous, and it is tip up carry. Not quite a deep carry though. You're gonna have at least half an inch of knife sticking up out of your pocket, which isn't the end of the world. It is a flipper opening, and it is a liner lock. And you got a bit of jimping on there to grab the liner lock, and I like how they recess this back a little bit. You can get at the liner lock with no trouble. And for the lanyard holders or lanyard users, there is a lanyard hole at the back. And you can see that it is open spine, which allows for a lot of pocket lint in there, but it's easy to clean out. So, and it also has a bit of a fuller here on the blade, which goes just a little over halfway down the blade, just to give a little bit of aesthetics to it, and I like the look of that. It also has a sharpening choil. You could put a finger in there, but you want to be careful because you are touching the cutting edge. And if you have big fingers, it's not going to be where you want to be placing a finger. So yes, it does have a choil on there, but that's more for sharpening than placing your finger. It has no blade play, which is nice. And the blade, it is slightly off center, but not much, and can easily be corrected. So it's pretty close, just not quite dead center. But it deploys with no issues. Actually surprised. I think they have copper washers in there by the looks of it on the pivots. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I didn't take it apart to check, but you can see, I don't know if it'll show up or not, but it definitely looks like a copper washer in there. So I believe that's what's there. So it's nice that it doesn't have blade play in that. And like I say, I was just looking at these. I had no experience with Rough Ryder before. They just, Warriors and Wonders just started carrying them recently, I believe, because I hadn't seen them before. And I thought for the price point, 27 bucks, it's a nice looking knife. Want to see what it's like. I thought it would feel cheaper and that in the hand and whatnot, but it's actually quite a pleasant knife. I've really enjoyed carrying this knife, actually, and was surprised at what it was, because I was thinking, you know, cheap. They usually feel cheap at 25 bucks, but this one actually feels like a durable knife. So that was a nice surprise. And then I like the aesthetics of it. As I mentioned, the fuller on there gives a nice profile, or a nice look to the profile of the blade. The handle, while it's simple, it's nice design, and it's kind of an elegant looking knife. Stylish, if you want to say. It looks good with the teal and the red cap and the black pocket clip. I thought it was a nice combination and pleasing to the eye. And just the design of it, I thought it looked good as well. The ergonomics on it are quite good. I'm a guy who likes jimping. I would prefer a little bit of jimping on the back of that blade just to give extra purchase. But you do get a good grip on the knife. It's easy to hang on to and feels good in the hand. The pivot on it is a smooth pivot. Operates quite well. It's not as, obviously you feel the difference between this and say a Benchmade or Civivi or Spyderco, but it still feels pretty darn good in the hand. And a nice slim design. It fits in the pocket quite well. It doesn't take up a lot of room in the pocket. You do notice the flipper a little bit because it protrudes there a little bit, but nothing serious. It actually fits the pocket quite well. My only real complaint about this knife is the aluminum handle is slippery. So you notice your hand slip when you're handling it, that it's a very smooth surface, not much to grip there. So that's again why I would like some jimping on the back of this, just to give that extra little grip. The jimping there does help, and the design of the handle, it fits the hand pretty good, so you do get a grip. It's not going to fall out of your hand while you're using it, but if your hand was wet for any reason, it would add to slipperiness, and the knife could become unsafe to use. So that's just something to keep in mind. But it works well. I've used it for opening packages and stuff, and it works quite well. So happy about that. Let's do a little bit of size comparison, because I forgot to mention that. Sorry, when we got going on different things here. So we have the Ontario Rat 2, and you can see it is a bit bigger than the Rat 2. And we've got the Benchmade bug out, and it is also slightly longer than the bug out. At 7 3/4 inches, it's a little bigger knife. Not huge. We do have the Civivi Cogent, and they are roughly the same size. And we got the Spyderco Tenacious, and again, it's fairly close to the same size. So blade length is pretty much the same. So it's a little bigger knife, not huge, but it does have a little bit more size than some of the mid-size knives. And in terms of sharpness, it's plenty sharp. And if it's a 440C or, you know, any of the more budget steels, it's not going to hold an edge for a long time, but it'll definitely be easy to sharpen. Let's try it out on everybody's favorite, good old zip tie. Should probably, right, I have that right. Because, oh, it actually cut through that pretty darn easy. And we've got the fake paracord from the dollar store. Cuts through that pretty darn easy. And the nylon cord. And it cuts through that without a lot of effort. So the blade does come sharp and will likely be easy to sharpen. You're just probably going to be doing a little more maintenance than you would with a more expensive knife, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some people don't mind sharpening knives, and I have a few knives that I have to sharpen here that are a little more expensive and have used for a while, and now they're dull. Anyway, I digress. This is the Rough Ryder Night Out. It at 27 bucks, I would recommend this for somebody looking for just a budget knife to throw in their pocket and little chores, you know, opening packages and cutting strings and twines and different things. You know, it wouldn't be something I would carry to war, but I'm not going to war, so I don't have to worry about that. But it definitely, for 27 bucks, I was pleasantly surprised by it, quite happy. I feel that it was 27 bucks well spent, and would recommend them. Hopefully it will have a little bit of endurance and last for a while. We'll see what happens, because I think I will throw this into my carry roster once in a while, just to use it, because I like it. So that is the Rough Ryder Night Out. Check them out if you have them available in your area. If you're looking for a cheap budget knife to carry around, this just might fit the bill for you. And Rough Ryder has a whole bunch of different knives out there, and apparently they've been around for quite a while. So Rough Ryder Night Out. All right, thanks for joining me on this review. Hope you have a great week, and I'll be doing another review here in a few days from now. Until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.